Hey guys, this is a continuation of lesson 3.4. A couple people of you emailed me and said that the 3.4 exercises were due before I actually finished teaching the section on 3.4. So I've reset the date for 3.4 till Friday, October 13th at midnight. Let me know if that's not enough time. I think it should be, because you should have the information enough for almost all of 3.4. There's like two things that that are going to be new. I'm going to review just so that we have some more examples for writing equations, because looking at the test, this is like 20 or 30 points on your test, so you probably need to know how to do this kind of well. So if I want to review the equation of a line, again, it doesn't matter whether you use y equals mx plus b, the slope-intercept form, or the point slope form with y minus y1 equals m times the quantity x minus x1. I'll go through all of my examples using y equals mx plus b, because that's what we used in the class most often. But if you want me to go through an example with y minus y1 equals m times the quantity x minus x1, just email me and let me know, and I'll shoot you an email with a couple of examples. So if we want to review writing the equation of a line, let me just go through the review examples right quick. I have a slope of -2, and it goes through the point -4, 2. Remember, we have y equals mx plus b. We know that -4 is an x value and 2 is a y value. So I have 2 equals -2, which is the slope, times the x value of -4 plus b. So I have 2 equals -2 times -4 is +8 plus b. And then I can solve that one-step equation by subtracting 8 from both sides, and I get b is equal to -6. Now, stopping right there is not the final answer. We're going to use this y equals mx plus b. So we have y equals the slope -2x plus my b, which is -6. So it's just y equals -2 minus 6. All right, one more of those right quick. Let's say that the slope is equal to 2/3, and that it goes through the point -9, 4. Again, y equals mx plus b. -9 is an x, 4 is a y value, so I have 4 equals 2/3 times -9 plus b. 3 goes into -9 3 times, so I've got 4 equals 2 times -3 is -6 plus b. So I'm going to add 6 to both sides, so I get b is equal to 10. Again, that's not the end of the story. We need to do y equals mx plus b. So we have y equals my slope, which is 2/3 x, and my b is 10. So I would have y equals 2/3 x plus 10. All right, simple enough. Now, what if I have 2 points? Two, 0, and -4, 7. Okay? Now, we usually have a point and a slope, and we have 2 points here, but we can find the slope by using the slope formula. The slope formula being y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, the change in the y's over the change in the x's. So we have 7 minus 0 over negative 4 minus 2, which is 7 over negative 6. So it really doesn't matter which point that I use because, again, we should come up with the same equation either way. So I'm just going to use 2, 0. So we have y equals mx plus b. 2 is an x, 0 is a y. So I have 0 equals negative 7, 6 times 2 plus b. Now let's see. That can be written as 2 over 1. 2 goes into 6 3 times. So that's 0 equals negative 7 times 1, which is negative 7 over 3 times 1, which is 3, plus b. So now I'm going to add 7/3 to both sides. And I get 7/3 equals b. Again, not the end of the story. So we have y equals mx plus b. So we have y equals negative 7, 6x plus my b, which is 7/3. So we have y equals negative 7, 6x plus 7/3. Let me do another one of those. Let's go through the point negative 2, 5, and the point negative 6, 13. Again, the first thing I want to do is find the slope. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Alright, so I'm going to do 13 minus 8 over negative 6 minus negative 2. So 13, not 13. I was thinking the answer ahead in my head. Let me go back and fix that. So you have 13 minus 5, which is 8. And you have negative 6 plus 2, which is negative 4. And that's going to give me negative 2. Alright, so my slope is negative 2. I'm just going to use the first point. So x is negative 2 and y is 5. So we have y equals mx plus b. My y is 5. My slope is negative 2. My x value is negative 2. And I'm looking for b. So I have 5 equals negative 2 times negative 2 is 4 plus b. Now I'm going to subtract 4 from both sides. And I get b equals 1. Finish it up. And I have y equals negative 2x plus 1. Alright, now there were a couple of problems when I worked through the homework that asked you to find the horizontal and vertical lines. And again, there will be one problem on these, and it's easier if you draw the little graph of the point to do that. You don't have to. If you can remember, horizontal is x, y equals, and if vertical is what x equals, that's fine. I just couldn't remember it when I was in school, so it was just something that kind of helped me out. All right, so here we go. Through the point 3, 1, and it is a vertical line. All right, so the point 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, vertical line says it is going through the x-axis. So it's x equals, and where does it go through the x-axis? 3. So the equation of my line is x is equal to 3. All right? if I have negative 2, 5, and it is a horizontal line. Okay, so I've got negative 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it goes through the point negative 2, 5, and it's horizontal. This time, it's crossing the y-axis. So y equals, and where is it crossing? It's crossing at 5. So it's y equals 5. Now, I can ask those same two questions in a different way. All right, let's say that I have negative 1, 4, and it has 0 slope. All right, so it's going through the point negative 1, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry about that. Negative 1, 4 with 0 slope. Now, here's where you have to remember some things. 0 slope means it is not running, it just keeps running. So, if it's not running and keeps running, it's a horizontal line. So that we know through the point negative 1, 4, it is a horizontal line, which means that it crosses the y-axis. And where does it cross the y-axis? It crosses it at 4, so we have y equals 4. Now the other way I can do that is, let's say that it goes through the point 4, negative 2, and it is a vertical line. Okay? So 4, negative 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, negative 1, negative 2. And it is a vertical line. But this time I'm not saying vertical. I'm saying that it has undefined slope. Undefined means that the 0 is in the bottom, which means that it's never running, it's always rising, which means that it's a vertical line, which means it crosses the x-axis. And where does it cross the x-axis? It crosses the x-axis at 4. So there's the equation of my line. And yes, there will be one of those on the test that you'll have. Okay, now, all of that was sort of a review so that you have more examples to put in your notes for point and slope, 2 points, and horizontal vertical lines. Now, the new stuff that we need to talk about is the parallel and perpendicular lines. So, just to review, remember that parallel lines have the same sign and the same slope, or the same number slope. Okay? Perpendicular lines have opposite signs and reciprocal slopes. All right, so parallel being a case of that, so that you know that one would be positive, one would be negative, both of these are negative, both of these are positive. Okay, we already talked about that. Now, what I want to do is I want to write the equation of a line. Alright, so let's say that I go through the point negative 1, 2, and that it's parallel to the line 3x plus y equals 5. Okay, now the first thing that I need to know is that I need to know what is the slope of this line. So to figure out the slope, we're going to solve for y. So to solve this equation for y, I'm going to subtract 3x so that I get y equals negative 3x plus 5. All right, so the slope of this line is negative 3. The next thing I need to know is, what do I know about parallel slopes? They're the same sign and same slope. So that tells me that the slope of my line is negative 3. So now I have an x and a y, and I have a slope. So I can go to y equals mx plus b. My y value is 2. My slope is negative 3. My x value is negative 1 plus my b. So I have 2 equals positive 3 plus b. So I'm going to subtract 1 and have 1 equals b. And remember, that's not the end. I have y equals negative 3x plus 1, and that would be my answer, negative 3x plus 1. All right, let's do another one of those. Let's say that it goes through the point 1, 5, and it is parallel to 12x minus 2y equals 6. All right, so the first thing that we need to do is find the slope of this line. So I'm going to solve for y by subtracting 12x from both sides. And I get negative 2y equals negative 12x plus 6. I'm going to divide everything by negative 2. So I get y equals positive 6x minus 3. The slope of this line is 6. We know that parallel lines have equal slopes. So the equation of, or the slope of my line is m is equal to 6. Now I have an x value, a y value, and I have a slope. So I have y equals mx plus b. So I have 5 equals 6 times 1 plus b. So 5 equals 6 plus b. I'm going to subtract 6 from both sides so that I get b equals negative 1. And if I finish it up, I have y equals 6x minus 1. And that's the equation of my line. All right, now that's parallel. Let's talk about perpendicular. We know that perpendicular has opposite and reciprocal slopes. So let's do a couple of those examples. All right, so 3, 4, and it is perpendicular to 2x plus 4y equals 5. All right, just like with the parallel lines, the first thing that we have to do is to find the slope of this line. So I'm going to solve this equation for y. So I'm going to subtract 2x from both sides. And I've got 4y equals negative 2x plus 5. I'm going to divide everything by 4. So I get y equals -2/4, which reduces to 2 divided by 2 is 1, 4 divided by 2 is 2, -1/2 x plus 5/4. So the slope of this line is -1/2. Now, what do I know about perpendicular slopes? They're opposite signs and reciprocal numbers. So, the opposite of negative would be positive, and the reciprocal of 1/2 would be 2/1, which would just be 2. Now, I have a slope, an x value, and a y value. So I'm going to go to y equals mx plus b. So I've got y is 4. My slope is 2. My x value is 3. And I'm looking for b. So 2 times 3 is 6 plus b. I'm going to subtract 6 from both sides. And I get -2 equals b. Now finish it up. And you have y equals 2x plus or minus 2. 2x minus 2 would be my answer. All right, let's do one more of those. Let's say that it goes through the point -2, -3, and it is perpendicular to (3x plus 2y equals 5). So the first thing that we have to do is find the slope of 3x plus 2y equals 5. So I'm going to solve for y. I'm going to subtract 3x from both sides. And I get 2y equals -3x plus 5. I'm going to divide everything by 2. And I get y equals -3/2 x plus 5/2. The slope of this line is -3/2. What do we know about perpendicular slopes? They're opposite reciprocals. So, the slope of my line. The opposite of negative would be positive. And the reciprocal of 3/2 would be 2/3. All right? So, I have an x value, a y value, and a slope. So, I'm going to go to y equals mx plus b. My y value is -3. My x value is, or my slope is 2/3. My x value is -2 plus b. So I have -3. 2 times -2 is -4. 3 times 1 is 3. Now I need to add 4/3 to both sides. And we get, using our calculator or common denominator, we get -5/3 equals b. So, to finish this off, we have y equals the slope 2/3 x plus the y-intercept, which is -5/3, so we just have -5/3. Now, I haven't checked these problems, but just thinking about it, how can you check each one of these problems? You can plug that point in, and if it turns out to be a true statement with the appropriate slope, then you've done it correctly. If you don't get a true statement, then you did something incorrectly, and you need to go back and kind of look at your arithmetic or your math work. The next thing that we have is sort of the last thing, and it's using these in real world applications. So here we go. I'm just going to do one of these examples because they all kind of work the same. All right, let's say that contract sales have been going up since 2007. In 2007, sales were 15, oh no, you put in the number, 15 million, 15,000, whatever you want to put. I'm just putting 15, okay? And in 2013, sales were 33. Okay? It says predict or find the equation of the line and predict the sales in 2022. Okay, so what we're going to do, so we don't have to deal with such big numbers with the 2007 and 2013, I'm going to let X be the number of years since 2007. And I'm going to let Y equal the sales. Okay, so in all that written information, I actually have 2 points. It says in 2007, sales were 15. All right, so my X value would be the years since 2007. Since that was 2007, that's actually the point 0 because 2007 minus 2007 would be 0. And the sales were 15. All right, now in 2013 minus 2007 would be 6. The sales were 33. Well, I have 2 points there, so I can find the equation of the line. So we need to do the slope. So the slope would be 33 minus 15 and 6 minus 0. 33 minus 15 would be 18. 6 minus 0 would be 6. And 18 divided by 6 is 3. Okay? Now I can go to Y equals mx plus b. I'm just going to use the 0, 15 point. So I have a Y value of 15, a slope of 3, an X value of 0, plus B. Well, 3 times 0 is 0, and 0 plus B is just B. So I have a y-intercept of 15. So now I can go here and go y equals 3x plus 15. Now, this is the equation of the line, so now I can look at 2022. 2022 minus 2007 is 15 years. That's an X value. So now I can plug in 15 for X. And I've got 45 plus 15, which is 60. So the Y value, and Y value is contract sales. So the contract sales in 2022 would be 60. Now, that is all of section 3.4. When we come back on Tuesday of next week, we'll do sections 3.5, 6, and 7. I don't think you have a test next week. Let me check and make sure. No, our test is on October the 24th, which is a Tuesday. So next week we'll do section 3.5, graphing of linear inequalities, and then on Thursday we'll do introduction to functions and 3.7. We may get into 3.6 on Tuesday. Just stay tuned and we'll see how it goes. That should be all that you need for section 3.4. If you have any questions, just give me an email. I will be in Seattle. See what time. I should get there about 3 o'clock Thursday, our time, which is 12 o'clock their time. If you have any questions, just let me know. I'll put, I have my phone with me, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Y'all have a great week. I hope you enjoyed your fall break, and I'll see you on Tuesday the 17th. Y'all have a great week. Bye-bye.